somebody said, well, how can Christian Science, how can they produce something, by thinking it with their minds? It's because there is a limited amount of authority that is given to every seed of Adam. Even if he's not born again. And see, when you get the power of the Holy Ghost, you then have the same power and the same authority of Jesus. It means if he spoke to it and it died, you can speak to it and it died. But you can't stand around it. You can't dance around it. Oh God, let it die. Oh, God, let it die. Oh, I spoke to it 3 days ago, and it's still living. God, let it die. No. He said, you speak to it, and you move on. We have marched around things for too long. And the more we march around it, we give it life. Whatever you focus on, it becomes larger. If something is crazy in your life, you got to just curse it and stop talking about it. Remove that name from your lips and from your mind. Folk that walk out on you, but you don't keep invoking their names. You just say, well, but you know that person, you know who it was, and then you just move on. Stop calling their names. As long as you call the name of something, you give it more life. Jesus said, have
faith,
the faith
in God.
Of God. He says, listen, I didn't do that just to show you how powerful I was. I did it so you can do the same thing. We are little Jesuses. He says, and as I am, so are you in the earth. I heard what the word of the Lord say, and it was just as clear, to me as a person who was talking. Jesus said, I am no longer the light of the world. He says, my church is. I was finished. Have you ever got a revelation where you just felt like, okay, it's over? I don't know anything. You ever got a revelation and you feel like I didn't know anything previous to that? See, because I still thought Jesus was the light of the world. What he says you are now the light of the world. He says you are the salt of the earth. He says, listen, he says, when I ascended on high, you took my place. I am in my place now. I'm sitting on the right hand of the Father. I'm making intercession for you, but you are the powerhouse. So it means a lot of stuff that we've been praying for him to do. He's saying you do it. Have faith in God.
For verily, I say unto you, that whosoever shall say.
But now here, he's not talking about praying. In verse 23, there is no mention of prayer. He says is that my church has separated decreeing and substituted it for prayer. When you pray, you petition God to do something on your behalf. But in decreeing, you empower yourself to do what he said do. A lot of us have been employing God to do something he gave us the charge to do. He says, I'm not going to do certain things. I'm not going to clean your house. I'm not going to discipline your children. I'm not going to pay your bills. You got to sit down and pay them. But now you believe me for increase. He says, but there's certain things I'm not going to do for you. You speak to the seed. You commanded to bring 1,000 times into your life. You bind up generations of poverty. You take authority over principalities that keep you bitter and mad and mean and out of your season, knocked off track. You take authority over it. He said that there was a reason for the record of the ascension. It says, listen, I will no longer